You're back, my friends, at 8:19 on your Saturday morning. And have you ever heard the saying, you are what you eat? Well, there's apparently a science behind it. Here to talk a little bit more about the gut-brain connection is our new friend, Dr. Angela Tran. Dr. Tran, good morning. Thanks so much for being with us.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
We're excited because this is an important topic. So for people who are unfamiliar with gut-brain connection, what exactly is it? How does it benefit our health?
Yeah, oh my gosh, this is my favorite topic because the brain-gut connection is a very complex communication system through your nervous system. Now, the communication system can affect your health in so many ways, such as your energy, memory, focus and concentration, and your mental health. So for example, if you have anxiety and depression, you could actually be sending a signal from your brain to your gut, and you feel nauseated, that tightness in your stomach, that butterflies feeling. But now, studies are suggesting that's actually an abnormal signal that's coming from your gut to tell your brain to worry. And so it's so important to understand that distinction because that determines your treatment.
That is so fascinating. So is it possible we can improve our mental health in reverse? You were talking about the brain going to our gut, but if we focus on our gut, will that send signals to our brain as well?
Yes, 100%. And that's why I focus on nutrition. So nutrition plays a critical role in keeping that brain-gut communication efficient. Okay, and so what happens is that I think people underestimate the complexity of your nutritional needs. So you have to factor in your age, your gender, lifestyle, family, and medical history, because if done incorrectly, you can actually be creating abnormal signals such as sugar cravings. Guess what? That's one of the leading causes for inflammation, cancer, and obesity. And as a medical expert, that's how I can help you treat in a scientific way.
So this is really fascinating. To dive a little bit deeper into this, I think we all know that what we eat can affect our emotions, but we always do it and vice versa. Like if we're going through a breakup, we crave, those sugary stuff like ice cream and pizza and all the junk food and everything. But in vice versa, it also affects our emotions. Can you explain the science there?
Yes. Well, I'm here to tell you it's actually not your fault. I like to call myself the mechanic of the body because you have to understand before you start any type of diet and exercise, you have to start from the inside. And so we're talking about the brain and gut, and it's an entire language. So I'm looking at your thyroid, your insulin, your hormone levels, and if you understand how to alleviate the medical side of things, your health, losing weight is so much easier. In fact, I have a team of coaches that can help you lose 50 pounds in less than 6 months.
Oh, wow. That's so fascinating. With the time that we have left, I think, we got a lot into the behind the scenes of it all. But for people saying, I'm ready to make this change, I'd like to try this out, what are some of the tips you have for them to start bettering their gut health, their gut brain connection?
Absolutely. Now, this is a pen and paper question. Okay. So step number 1, sleep. Sleep is the new exercise. You've got to get 7 hours of sleep because it's not just about rest. That's when you're getting your hormones balanced, your brain chemistry reset in order for you to function. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, vitamin D. Oh my gosh, you'd be amazed at how many people here in Colorado are so low on vitamin D. You have to get at least 2,000 international units per day to keep that energy and metabolism up.
How do you do that?
And you just take that over the counter. Vitamin D3 is super easy. And finally, tip number 3, daily probiotics. I mean, we're talking about the gut health. So you need to replenish your gut with good bacteria because if you have an overgrowth of bad bacteria, again, that's caused by stress, poor nutrition, lack of sleep. I mean, that's when your body can go haywire. So I really understand, the brain gut is just a complex system, but when you understand it, it makes it so much easier to control your health.
Well, these are good starter tips for now. We know that you just opened a whole can of worms as far as questions and even more information that we're dying to know a little bit more. We'll have to have you back on to talk a little bit about all of that. But thank you so much. Our new friend, Dr. Tran, everybody, trying to help us with that healthy brain-gut connection. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about this, we're going to reshare this interview on our website, 9news.com as well. We'll be right back.